right, welcome back to the show. We got some holiday hocks for you today. We're going to show you how to cure these, cold smoke them, and cook them. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. So we have our ham shanks here, and we're going to show you a simple brine. So you're going to need a pot, just a vessel. Over here we have 2 cups of kosher salt. Make sure you use kosher salt. You don't want iodized salt. Right here is a ½ cup of sugar. I have 2½ tablespoons of curing salt, which is pink salt, and this is a ½ cup of granulated garlic powder. Over here we have some, if you could look inside there, we've got some peppercorns, bay leaves, and some red chili peppers in there. Everything's going to go into our pot. We're going to use a gallon of water to actually cook this down. Make sure it's just melted down. So here's the salt going in with our sugar, our pink salt, our nice spices, garlic, and over here is molasses. So we're going to put the molasses in after we add the water. This recipe calls for a gallon of water for what we have here as far as the hocks go. So I'm going to start right here with just a ½ gallon. The ½ gallon in there. We're going to heat this up. I don't want to put these hocks inside hot water, but we're heating this up to dissolve everything down. And then over here, we're going to have 6 ounces of molasses going in here, which is about ½ jar. You can just eyeball it. A little bit more. This molasses is very important because it's going to give you that nice southern flavor on those hocks. Give it a stir. Onto the stove it goes so everything can dissolve. And we'll see you right back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. So we just took our brine off the stove. So let's dump this brine right into this basket here. That goes off to the side. Now, I have fresh water here. It's cold, and this brine is cooled down already. As you can see, I got my hands in here. So you want to start adding your water. Now, I don't have my hocks in here yet, so I'm not sure how much of this I need to cover this. So right now, I'm going to start putting my hocks inside. And then I'm going to cover the rest of them with the water. There we go. Now this recipe calls for a gallon. And whatever, I measured this with the hocks inside. I took a gallon of water and I put the hocks inside and I measured it. So it should be perfect. And get them completely submerged, just like that. And now they're in the brine. This brine's going to run for about 5 days. I'm not going to go over that. I don't want these too salty. And you can always add just a touch more curing salt if you don't want it to go that long. I'm going to rinse my hands while I'm at it and come up here, top off with more water. There we go. Right up to the lid. And that's it. So we're going to keep these submerged. They're going out into this brine for 5 days. And in 5 days, we will see you then. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. We let these go for 6 days. I want an extra day on them. I was going to pull them in 5, but let's see what we got. All right, so onto the rack they go. We're going to take them out of here. That brine. We're not going to rinse them or anything. Just onto the rack they go. And then I put these directly onto the cooker. Now, we're going to cold smoke these first. They're not going to get any heat. It's just going to be a bunch of cold smoke that they're going to get hit with. Then after we cold smoke them, they're going to cold smoke for about 5 hours. And 5 hours later, they come off of one cooker and they go on another cooker. All right, here we go. Those are all of our nice hocks. You can see the color change in there. Now, they almost look pink for now. And then when we smoke them, they're going to look even more pink. And they're going to get really pink when we cook them. And that's it. Out onto the smoker we go. I'm going to let these just kind of dry out on this rack and in this bowl for about, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes, and off to the cooker we go. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. We are rolling with 2 cold smokers today. I'm going to show you around these 2 cold smokers. We're rolling with this cold smoker, which is the Old Country Pit, and we're rolling with the Masterbuilt cabinet cooker. It's like a refrigerator, and it has a cold smoke attachment onto the side of it, and I actually have them on both. So no further ado, let's show you around. Starting with this one, this is the Old Country Pit vertical cooker. Now I use this just as my cold smoker. I have a cold smoke attachment on the side here. This is the Smoke Daddy. It lets out a lot of smoke. You just put the wood chips inside this, light it from the bottom, and she pumps out a lot of smoke. This is where it comes in from. This is the bottom of the cooker. So you could see that hole that comes through. Now, when I'm using this cooker, if I want some heat, I can create a small fire down here. This is for smoking my sausages, so this is what I use this cooker for. And let me show you the inside setup. Now I have a rack in here. This is what we're going to put our ham hocks on today. I also have several hangers. I have hangers in the back. They just come out. This cooker actually came with those. This is why I purchased it. Now, this cooker is thin metal, so I'm not really into using this as a regular cooker because it's not going to last very long. I mean, it's a solid cooker, but it's not half inch. So this cooker right here is a great cold smoker. I have a tray down the bottom right here. This catches all my drippings, and all the smoke will come up from the bottom. 2 vents on the top. And the reason why I set this up just as my cold smoker is because I can do all my sausages. I can hang them high. I have 2 rods that are all the way from the top up here, so I can get all the way up top and hang my sausages low. And our weather's getting cooler now. For South Georgia, it's a little too hot to do sausage because I like to do them around 30 degrees outside, 45 degrees outside. And that's how I like to hang my sausages and do them in cooler weather. And that's it. And now we're on to cooker number 2. This is the Masterbuilt cooker, and it's fully electric. And the reason why I like this cooker is because when I'm smoking meats, sausages, I could even do a ham in here. When I'm smoking meats, it allows me to get the temperatures down low enough where I can't do it with a pellet, really can't do it with coal. I can get away with it with, you know, building a very small fire and just dumping some of that in a smoker like this one on the bottom, which I just showed you. I can get away with that. But if you want precise temperatures and you want to cook at 200 degrees and hold it, this is the smoker for you. This is the inside. It's insulated, built like a cabinet, and basically it's just a small refrigerator. This is the cold smoke attachment that is on the side of it. This is an extra unit. Pumps in pretty good smoke. Little cap in here. And As you can see, I have it loaded up for a cook. Alright, that's what we're rolling on today. We're going to show you how to use both of these cookers. The first one over here, that's going to bring just cool smoke. This one's going to bring some cool smoke too. It doesn't smoke like this one over here. And as you'll see, this guy right here with the Smoke Daddy unit on the side, it pumps out some smoke. So, we're going to show you how to use these. Get them loaded up and get it on. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Alright, our Smoke Daddy's pumping out some beautiful cold smoke. As you can see, our temperature gauges, they're under 100 degrees. So the temperature outside right now, probably about 68 degrees. Let's get these on. That's all cold smoke. There's no heat in there. Right, let's get our Hocks on. The nice part about this is I don't have to work fast and stabilize our fire because there isn't one. Just make sure you have enough separation in between your pieces. And you still want airflow. So I still have the vents open on the top, I have a vent open on the bottom, and you still want the air to move around. You don't want stale air when you're cold smoking. That's very important, because if you have cold air, stale air, it's not going to move around. All that smoke's not going to get into your food, and it's not going to work. All right, and there we have it. As you can see, my vents on the top, I got those cracked. I got airflow down there. I got this vent on the bottom cracked. I have airflow down here, so I can open up this vent and you can see the smoke all the way down there, because the Smoke Daddy, as I showed you today, comes in through there, just giving me that room to adjust these vents. So I leave those air vents like that, and all the smoke comes up from underneath. It's under the second chamber like I showed you, and all of this stuff that's in here, if there's any juice, I have a tray in here to catch any of my drippings, and that's it. Let's close this back up and let the smoke do its job. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Alright, so we're about 5 hours in. I'm going to pull these. So these are nicely smoked, cold. We're going to take these off of here, and then they're going to go on to the other cooker. And I'm going to do that tomorrow, so these are just going right back in the fridge because they're still cold. And that'll be it. And then tomorrow, we'll cook them. So today, we smoked them. We're going to smoke them tomorrow again with some heat. Alright. That's our smoked ham hocks. You can see the color of the skin. And by tomorrow, they're going to look even more amazing. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Alright, so it is tomorrow evening. This cooker that we're going on, cooker number 2 here, this master built, I just have the cold smoker going right now. There's no heat going into this unit. I'm going to slowly start to bring up these hocks after about an hour. I have a probe into one so I can tell my internal temperature, and we're going to slowly bring them up there till we get about 159, 160, and that's where we're going to be, and then they're cooked. So let's get it on. Let's back up from all this smoke. I'm going to put the one hock right in the middle of the cooker. And just get all the rest in there. Again, make sure that you have them spaced out so you get the proper air. While they're cooking. And that's what you want. Move them all around. Then I'm going to get the other one back into the middle as I get situated. Just like that. Alright. They're spaced out. They're not touching, because you don't want them touching at all. Just make sure they're not touching. And you are good to go. Make sure they're not touching any walls. They're not touching each other. And make sure they're spaced out pretty good. That's it. We're going to bring up the heat. Slowly. After about an hour into this, we'll start slowly bringing up the heat. And that'll be that. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Alright, we are at 160 and it is time to pull these guys. And here we go. Look at those. Those look beautiful. That's what you're looking for. Alright, we're going to pull these. Bring them in. And show you what we got. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. And here we are. Our beautiful ham hocks are done. But they are not complete until they go in something. Now, most people put these in soups, beans, and that's what we're going to do to complete this cook. So that was the first half of the cook. We're going to put them in some canary beans, and we're going to show you how to get this done. And we're cooking right in the Dutch oven. We're going outside again. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Alright, so this is what we're cooking these ham hocks on today. This is the 4-burner Somerset by Camp Chef. This is an older unit. They don't make this one anymore. This was the best unit that they made. And it's a shame that they took it off the market. Very, very great looking unit. If you had an outside built-in kitchen, you could use this for that. It's got 4 huge burners on it. Look at that. High outputs. I mean, this thing will fire up anything you want. It's just such a fantastic unit. So I keep it here next to my sink. And this is what we're going to fire up the hocks on today. A nice shelf on the side. And I tell you, this thing kicks out more flames than a commercial oven. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. Alright, we're outside. We're ready to get this going. So right here we have our ham hocks. Has our beans. Over here we have 1 shallot inside this bowl. We got 1 shallot, an onion and a half, and in this right here we have a few bay leaves, fresh bay leaves from my garden, and chili peppers. Just 2 of them, dry. And we're going into the pot. So let's get it going. Let's get this lit. And you can see, look at that burner. We're gonna go on medium heat with this. So we're going in with our beans, our onions, and that's the way you want to have those onions cut, like that. Just give them a stir. Our bay leaves, our crushed chili peppers, just like that, and our star, the Hocks. Gonna come in with some water to cover. Now, I have a deep well, and all my water is fresh. I definitely would highly recommend fresh bottled water for this. This is a gallon that I'm filling this up with, so as long as you get the Hocks covered, you're good to go. And if you need more water later on, just add it. We're going in on medium heat, right over the eye, just like that. When it starts to boil a little bit, we're going to turn it down. We're going to put it on low, and you just want a very slight simmer. We'll show you when it's on simmer. We'll show you how those beans look. That's it. For about 3 hours, they go. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, let's check on the beans. That's the roll you want. We're going to slow it down a little bit. And we're going to give a very slow stir. Just move them. Just like that. That's all you need. If you stir them up too much, you bring up the starch, you'll break up the bean, and your beans won't come out right. They'll be very mushy. And our ham hocks are looking great. Take a look at those hocks. Now, we're going to cook these down until these hocks are almost falling off the bone. And that's how you know they're done. So we're about an hour and a half in. We still have some time, but look at those. They look beautiful. That's it. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. So our beans are ready. Let's see what we got. Let's shut this off. And look at that. Now, I'm going to stir gently, because you want to pull these off the eye and let them sit and cool just a little bit, and they'll just tighten up. But look at those ham hocks in there. See how they start splitting? They're soft. Probably cut right through with a butter knife. That's what you're looking for. Look at that. Let's get these inside and onto the chopping block. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, and the final hours here, we are finally on that chopping board. Let's see what we got. Here's our nice beans. Look at that. Now, these rested for about 20 minutes. That's how you want to let them rest. But just look at that. They came out beautiful. They're whole. They're not falling apart. Let's check out our ham hocks. Now I'm going to take a nice big ham hock here. Put it in our bowl. Got all that meat. Now most people probably have never ate a ham hock. A lot of people. They just use them for flavoring. But the way I buy my ham hocks, the way I buy my hocks, is I buy them big, and I do exactly what you saw me do. I cure them. And if you go to the supermarket, you see these little tiny hocks. There's no meat on them. They have hardly any meat on them. I call them ham bones, because it's not a hock if you can't eat it. All right. Just like that. We're going to follow behind with a little white rice on the side. I like to put my white rice right on top, just like that, right on top of my beans. Just like that. And then over here I have a little jalapeno. So I'm going to put a little jalapeno on top. I love hot sauce, but it's got a lot of salt. I'd rather have the jalapenos and control my salt. That's it. Let's get into this. I want to show you how tender this is. Look at this. Ham hock just falls right off the bone. Just like that. I can pull this bone right out of this hock, which we will. Just pull it right out of there. Gonna add it right back to our beans. Keep that flavor in there. And we'll pull them out at the end. All right, look at that ham hock. Right out of there. And let's get a little Pitmaster's taste in there of that hock. Look at that. Excellent. There's nothing like making your own ham hocks, because you control the salt. These have very minimal salt. And by the way, don't put any salt in this until the end. Try it. Salt. It's got to toughen up your bean. And let's give our beans a shot there. A little ham hock, jalapeno in there. And that is the perfect bite. Wow. All right. And there you have it. Ham hocks and beans. And if you like this video and many more that are about to come, hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that little bell. This way you get the videos first. Again, thank you for joining us. We love having you. And we'll see you next time. Stick around. Don't go anywhere.